Machida. Ortiz has the familiar flames on his trunks. Tito claims he's 100%, and he hasn't been 100% healthy in a long time for this matchup.
Yeah, he's had a series of reoccurring back injuries, but it didn't bother him at all for this camp, he said.
And always kind of, it just didn't allow him to shoot with the force that he did before, take men down and punish them, which made him a much more beatable fighter, if you will, not quite as dangerous.
Like I said, the last time we saw him in great form was the first round in his fight with Forrest Griffin.
Yep.
He took Forrest down and you know, gave him some really brutal ground and pound. Looked like he was on his way to, you know, a really decisive victory in that fight. Forrest came on later and made it a much better fight, but Tito looked great in the first round. That was the last time we saw him look great.
See if Tito's trying to work the hands with the unorthodox striker, Lyoto Machida, or if he's just trying to set up a takedown.
Well, Tito looks very calm so far. He's picking his spots. He's looking for it. He shoots.
Machida with the leg kicks. Not seemingly fearful to throw the leg when he knows that perhaps Ortiz is just looking for the takedown to punish him. One of the most veteran cage fighters around, the Huntington Beach bad boy, Tito Ortiz.
Shrugged it off.
Now, Tito has been vulnerable to judo trips in the past. And let's see if they do clinch, if that's what Machida will do. Or does Lyoto Machida think, I can outstrike this guy, there's no reason to go down?
All right, Tito's got a hold of him now. Lyoto shrugs him off.
And that's something right there, Joe, because Tito's still one of the strongest light heavyweights out there. Masterful at cutting down to 205. Machida's keeping his distance. Trying to stay out of the range of the hands and the takedown attempts of Tito Ortiz. Nobody has figured out how to fight Machida yet.
It's a very unusual style, Mike. I mean, he's a great grappler, but on top of being a great grappler, that elusive karate attack is very unusual. And it's hard to get guys that are that high-level karate guys who are also very good at grappling to train with. He's got great takedown defense on top of the striking, so it is a very unusual combination.
Swing and a miss by Ortiz for about 6 years, was considered the greatest 205-pound fighter on the planet. That was many years ago. 21st fight in the octagon for Tito Ortiz. Great fight coming up. WEC, Faber versus Palmer, Sunday, June 1st. Live on Versus, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West. Unbeaten at 145. Mixed martial arts legend Jen's Little Evil Palmer against the title holder, the California Kid, Uriah Faber.
I'll tell you what, I can't wait for that fight.
How good will that be?
That is the greatest fight in the history of the 145-pound division.
And Joe will visit with both of those men later tonight.
Tito's looking to get some range on that right hand.
Good head kick by Lyoto Machida. Machida now goes inside.
Tito just cannot get a hold of Lyoto. Lyoto masterful at spinning around and getting away from Tito.
Tito, usually, in the past, if he got you in a clinch, you were in trouble. But Machida is a lot stronger than people would think. Good switch kick. Kind of led with the right and then boom with the left. And that's the one thing I think that people don't realize that. I mean, this is a guy that has thrown around some of the best around in Lyoto Machida.
Yeah, he's very technical, Mike, in all aspects of his game. And you're seeing that in the way he's shrugging off these takedown attempts.
Wins over BJ Penn, Stephen Bonner.
Tito's upset, but I mean, what is he upset about? I mean, Lyoto is attacking. He's just being very elusive.
Vernon White, first ever man to beat Rich Franklin, Lyoto Machida.
Machida loves to counter with that straight left hand. Oh, switch. He hit him with a double kick.
And again. Side control. Machida looking to finish Tito Ortiz, saved by the bell. Great finish
Let's take a look at that, and this just shows more of the tactical brilliance of Lyoto Machida. Now here's that double kick. More flashy than anything, but just shows what he can do. But here's this takedown. Got a body lock on Tito, trip, takes him to the ground, dominates him, gets him inside control. I mean, just showing Tito Ortiz that he is not just about being elusive. He will also attack.
Joe, we had mentioned earlier that Tito was vulnerable to judo tricks. Randy Couture did it to him over and over again. That was the little trick Machida used at the end of the round. And if Tito can't out-muscle Machida, and if it's Machida who's going to take down Ortiz, then one has to quickly wonder, what can Tito do to win?
Well, the interesting thing about it is how, there you go. The interesting thing about it,
Chuck Liddell.
The interesting thing about that attack was how much he lured Tito into a false sense of security. He was constantly moving away, constantly be elusive, and then he attacked very aggressively. And that's when he got the takedown.
The Iceman in the first row, watching his longtime nemesis, Tito Ortiz, fight a man who perhaps could fight Liddell in the future, Lyoto Machida. Hamstring is healing. We will see Chuck hopefully by early in the fall, late in the summer.
Nice counter left hand. That he loves to throw that straight left hand.
An 11-year UFC career for Tito Ortiz.
I think the kind of guys who are going to give Lyoto Machida much more trouble are the really dangerous strikers at 205. The really dangerous and experienced strikers. Tito is, a ground and pound expert. And if he can't get it to the ground, he's at a distinct disadvantage right now in this fight.
Ortiz looking for his first win since October of 2006. Machida again with an attack. Machida finds just the slightest of openings and attacks them.
You know what he does, Mike, that a lot of people aren't picking up on? He throws a lot of feints. He gets Tito to react. See that? There he goes. He gets Tito to react, and he gets Tito to never know when he's faking, when he's actually attacking.
UFC 85, Bedlam, June 7th. O2 Arena 2 weeks from now. We're in London, England. Matt Hughes, Thiago Alves, Brandon Barrett, Fabricio Verdum, Michael Bisping, Jason Day. Available only on pay-per-view. Log on to 85.ufc.com. Tonight, UFC 84, Ill Will, presented by Bud Light. Second round, 3:05 remains. Tito Ortiz, Lyoto Machida. Machida seems so comfortable right now. Quick little snap with the uppercut. I mean, Tito hasn't been aggressive at all so far in this round, Joe. He can't figure him out.
Yeah, he seems to be waiting for Lyoto to get into range. Oh, he faked him with the low and went high. Tito is just chasing after him here. I mean, it's such an unusual style that Lyoto presents.
We've talked about it many times, how unorthodox and unusual it is, but what in your eyes is most unusual about it? What is most difficult for the opponents to overcome?
He's very elusive. Very elusive, and first of all, he tries for the trip right there. He stands in a very different way, not just southpaw, but he stands in a wide stance, and he leaps in and out and side to side. But it's not just moving away. He's also aggressive. When he finds an opening, he will attack. So you always have to keep your guard up. You always have to be ready. And he also has a fantastic ground game to go along with his striking.
Good inside leg kick. Ortiz kind of saying, come on, let's fight. But that perhaps Tito has to be more aggressive. Go in and go after the shot.
Well, it's tough because Tito is not as fast as him. And Tito is not as good a striker. So, I mean, Tito's best bet is to try to get him. There he goes. Shoots. He gets a hold of the leg.
Good strong.
He's got to hang on to that, though. Tito's pulled guard.
Machida in the guard of Tito Ortiz. Machida Machida, by the way, has a very, very good ground game.
And you know what? So does Tito Ortiz. Tito Ortiz is a very underrated ground game. But he chose not to be in that position. Does not want to be on the bottom.
Machida has spent some time preparing for this fight, training with the men at American Kickboxing Academy in San Jose. Trained a little bit with Cain Velasquez, and he really has shown his skills there. His father, Yoshiza, his hero, his teacher.
Oh, big knee!
Good knee. Final 30 seconds of the second round. Tito's eye bloodied up a little bit. He says, let's go, let's go. And Machida does. Tito says, let's fight.
Oh, good body kick by Tito.
Now he shows aggression.
Well, he's got to do that. He's got to chase him down like that. But when you do, you run the risk of being countered. Let's take a look at some of the action here. I mean, Lyoto Machida showing there's he faked low and went high, partially blocked by Tito's hand, but it just shows the diversity in his techniques. There he is shrugging Tito off and throwing a body kick. Tito's got a cut on his right eyelid. Leon Tab's taking a look at that, trying to stop the bleeding.
What are you doing? Lunging.
Fucking running the whole time, man.
No, double jab. Double jab. Double jab. You're right. Just box. Have fun. Stay inside the pocket.
Former heavyweight champion Rigo Rodriguez gives Tito advice.
And in the other corner, present heavyweight champion, Antonio Minotauro Nogueira. Third and final round. Perhaps the last final 5 minutes of Tito Ortiz's career inside the octagon. Will he leave it all inside the 8-sided cage? They touch. Ortiz said in his corner, he's running the whole time.
It's not running though. You know,
It's
Lyoto
avoiding,
moves
right?
away. Yeah, I mean it's intelligence. I mean, he is attacking. He does find openings, but he doesn't just stand right in front of you and let you hit him.
Which is actually a good idea.
Yeah, it's a very smart thing. It's a very good tactic. It's just the way he does it is very unusual, and it's hard to deal with. It's frustrating, Tito.
And it's not like coming in, Tito Ortiz did not know that this was the style he was going to have to try to counter.
Right, and it's part of the game. I mean, as he gets frustrated, then Tito makes big, he makes big charges, and because he makes those big charges, Yves Levine showing his athleticism.
Yves Levine went down quick, but he's right back up.
All right, Tito clinches. Knee, body, couple of body shots.
Ortiz will look for the takedown now.
Lyoto pushes him off. Tito's got to make something happen in this last round.
Under 4 minutes remains in the fight.
And right now, Lyoto's very close to him.
The war of words has existed for years between UFC President Dana White, Tito Ortiz. Dana says, I'm out of the Tito Ortiz business.
Tito takes another shot. Lyoto shrugs it off.
He's got to put some combinations together, Joe. He's got to really do something here.
Yeah, he's got to realize the urgency here. There's less than 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go, and he really hasn't been able to get any offense going in this fight.
Well, the urgency, his legacy, his last appearance, his marketability, everything.
Look, he made the shot there. He's got the plum.
Good knees now. Ortiz trying to rough Machida up. Good dirty boxing. Elbow. Still, he has not been able to take Machida down, though.
Machida's very elusive. And every time Tito tries to get him up against the cage and get something going, Machida sprawls out or pushes him away. Tito's got a leg. Great takedown defense by Machida. I mean, really impressive stuff.
And he is free. Right back into the clinch game. 2 minutes, 15 seconds remains in the fight.
One of the more impressive things about this, Mike, is that Lyoto is not a big guy for 205 pounds. When you look at the two guys physically next to each other, Tito looks like a much bigger man.
There you go.
But yet he hasn't been able to use that advantage. The technique of Lyoto has pretty much neutralized Tito's strength.
It's not always the prettiest, but it seems to always be effective. They break them up. 140 remains. Tito's got to let it all hang out here, or Machida's going to walk away with a decision victory.
Good knee.
Big Tito Ortiz is down. Machida looking to finish it. Machida pounding away on Tito Ortiz. He rocked him.
Tito was hurt very badly there. He's in full guard. Machida should use this moment to get out of this guard and get to a dominant position. Now Tito's closed up the guard.
Got him with a liver shot. And it just buckles Ortiz. Under a minute remains.
There was a big opening there where Tito's legs were wide open. Lyoto was in his guard, and he could have gotten out of it to a much better position. Oh, look at this! Tito rolls with an uppercut. He's got a triangle. Unbelievable.
30 seconds remains. Can he finish it? 25 seconds. Machida is out. Wow.
He had a triangle and an armbar right there. Wow. He's going to run for it again.
10 seconds. He'll look for it one more time, Joe.
This was a 5-rounder.
What a battle.
Man.
And the Diesel.
How close is
He
that?
loves it.
Tito Ortiz was so close to pulling off that victory.